The first ship didn't appear in orbit. It appeared dead, spinning in the void past Pluto, its hull torn like someone had ripped it open from the inside, leaking frozen gases and shattered alloy into the Kuiper belt. The transmission came later, a distorted pulse caught by a relay station built decades before. One sound, 3 seconds long, repeating every 8 hours. A scream. By the time Earth's defense arrays locked onto the source, it was gone. No drive signature. No debris. Just an empty gap where the wreck had been, like space itself had swallowed it. That was the warning. The Armada came next. 200 ships, each the size of a continent, crawling in from deep space like a slow plague. They didn't broadcast demands. They didn't acknowledge hails. They just moved unstoppable toward Earth's gravity well. The world's military command called them the Vrayakul. The name didn't matter. The shape of their ships mattered. Bioform dreadnoughts, plated in chitin thicker than warships, grown, not built. They pulsed with internal heat, like they were alive, each ship a creature, each weapon an organ. Earth's orbital defenses activated. Hundreds of platforms powered by fusion cores. Autonomous kill drones with railguns stitched into their hulls. They fired in coordinated bursts. Nothing touched the Vrayakul. The invaders didn't block the attacks. They ate them. The hulls absorbed kinetic slugs, turning impacts into bursts of bioplasma vented back into space like poisonous breath. Missiles vanished in clouds of microorganisms released by the Vrayakul dreadnoughts, devouring warheads before they could detonate. Earth's defense grid lasted 16 minutes. That's when the ships stopped. Not at the moon. Not at geosynchronous orbit. They stopped exactly at the point the first Vrayakul wreck had been found. 200 ships, locked in formation. No movement. No signals. No attacks. And then they started to die. One by one. Not from weapons. Not from combat. They died like machines infected with a virus no one could see. Their hulls turned inward, folding like wet paper. Internal systems fused. Engine cores overclocked until they detonated. In the span of 2 hours, the Vrayakul Armada became a drifting graveyard, silent as a burial pit. No human weapons had touched them. Because the war had already happened. Earth hadn't just prepared for invasion. Earth had erased it before it began. No battles. No fleets. No final stands. Earth's real weapon wasn't in space. It was time. 70 years earlier, the project that never officially existed. They called it Project Blackwell. A hybrid program run off the books, funded by every superpower too afraid to admit they were working together. Not a weapon. A virus. Not to kill, but to rewrite. Blackwell's goal wasn't to build better defenses or stronger fleets. Its goal was to reprogram reality itself around Earth. Every species that even thought of attacking humanity would have their entire history rewritten. Their cultures would forget Earth existed. Their navigation systems would refuse to calculate a path toward Sol. Their targeting computers would show empty void if Earth ever appeared in sensors. Blackwell wasn't war. Blackwell was erasure. It started with captured signals. Alien broadcasts intercepted, language patterns mapped, cultural memories indexed. Blackwell built templates, seeds of misinformation injected directly into the communications networks of every species Earth ever encountered. Every message carried a payload. Every reply carried infection. Within a decade, every known species remembered Earth wrong. Some thought it was a dead world. Others believed it had been destroyed in a natural disaster centuries ago. Some had no memory of Earth at all, just a gap in their star charts, a blank space where Sol should have been. The Vrayakul were different. They were old. Old enough to have existed before Blackwell. Their memory of Earth was untouched because it was older than Earth's first satellites. They remembered humanity as a primitive species, weak and isolated. And they came for Earth. That's when Blackwell activated Phase 2. Revenant Protocol. The virus didn't just target memories. It targeted time itself. Every Vrayakul warship carried systems infected long before the invasion fleet ever launched, hidden deep in their code, embedded in navigational arrays, copied from ship to ship over centuries. When they reached the Sol system, the virus triggered. It rewrote their past. Every battle they'd fought. Every victory. Every strategy. All rewritten to include defeats they'd never suffered, losses they never remembered until that moment. Their commanders suddenly carried memories of battles that crushed their fleets. Memories that didn't exist until they did. The Vrayakul didn't just lose. They lost before they arrived. Earth's hidden guardians, the architects of Blackwell. Commander Threxall, once a deep space intelligence officer, Threxall disappeared from all records 25 years before the Vrayakul arrived. Rumors say his consciousness was uploaded directly into Blackwell's core system, a living ghost that rewrites reality with every breath. Dr. Lasara, lead xenolinguist. Her work in semantic warfare laid the groundwork for the first generation of Blackwell payloads. She spoke Vrayakul fluently and made sure their language would always lie to them. Kaler 9, no rank. No file. No face. Kaler 9 was a network of genetically identical agents, each implanted with a fragment of Blackwell's seed code. Their memories were linked across the entire Earth intelligence grid. If one died, the others inherited everything. Rhaegor pilot turned infiltrator. He flew the first covert insertion into Vrayakul territory, planting the first seed virus in a derelict relay station. Every infected ship carried his code without ever knowing his name. Soren Prime, original architect of Blackwell's temporal algorithms. He didn't believe in weapons. He believed in corrections. Soren Prime's algorithms ensured that no invasion could ever begin because the past itself would erase it. Technologies of erasure. Chrono-inflectors, devices that don't manipulate time, they manipulate memory of time. A species infected by a chrono-inflector doesn't lose battles. They lose the memory of ever winning. EchoSeed's viral payloads hidden inside simple transmissions, hello signals, trade offers, distress beacons. Every EchoSeed rewrites linguistic pathways, altering meaning itself until species lose the ability to understand their own history. Causality shards, micro-artifacts placed in deep space, each one a beacon that alters gravitational telemetry data. Ships navigating infected space miscalculate their own trajectories, losing years or centuries without realizing they've been moved through time. Memory parasites, biological algorithms injected into alien culture networks. They rewrite folklore, history, and even religious texts to embed fear of Earth without ever mentioning Earth by name. Final stand that never happened. The Vrayakul never reached Earth. Their own memories killed them. As their fleet died, Earth's defense grid recorded everything. Every error. Every malfunction. Every captain whispering final orders to surrender to enemies that didn't exist until the moment they remembered them. When the last Vrayakul ship collapsed into itself, Earth's sky remained silent. No celebrations. No broadcasts. Blackwell didn't need recognition. Its victory was erasure itself. Message to the stars. Earth isn't a target. Earth is a wound in time itself. You cannot fight us. You will never remember why. You will think we died. You will believe you destroyed us. You will carry memories of victories that never happened, and they will break you. We are not warriors. We are not survivors. We are the architects of your own defeat. We are Blackwell. And you have already lost.